Welcome back to Without a Paddle Woodworks. Today I'm going to be attempting to build a floating nightstand with a couple of kind of cool features. Basically, in my daughter's room, the side of her bed is right beside the vent, so can't really put a nightstand there, so we're going to do a floating one with a drawer and a garbage can underneath. I'm still figuring out how to do the garbage can. We'll figure that out as we go. Excuse me. But this is going to be our top for the nightstand, and then we'll have the drawer underneath. We are almost at the right width. This is 13. I think I measured about 12 and a half, 12 and 3/4. So we might have to trim a little bit off the side. I may go double check, see if this actually fits in there. And then we'll have a drawer underneath and then a garbage can under that. Everything's going to be hanging. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to mount it to the walls. I have these brackets which I might end up using. It only needs to be 15 inches long. This is 21 and a half, so we're going to be cutting about 6 or 7 inches off of it. So, and then those will give it kind of a nice look, and then the drawer, we can build the drawer so that it kind of slides in between those, kind of like so, and then the drawer can kind of slide in between. Might do something different for mounting it to the wall. Haven't 100% decided that, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this cut to length and width, and then we'll build the drawer. The drawer I am going to spend a little bit more time on than the last drawer that I made. I'm gonna be hiding my screws a lot more. It's not gonna be as quick as that one and as functional. Obviously it'll still be functional, but it's not gonna be kind of tossed together with more function over looks. This is going to be looks and function together. So I'm going to go test fit this, because I did not do that, and see where we're at, see if we actually do need to shave a little bit off, and then we'll get it cut down to length, and then start building our box for our drawer. So I'll get this fit and then we'll come back when we're building stuff. Okay, I think I've decided exactly how I'm gonna do it. So the way this is kind of set up right now is upside down. So I'm gonna screw this into my top. I've got this piece here that is then going to go on like that on the sides. Both sides are going to be the same, obviously cut down. And then I've got some of this thinner plywood, that is then going to go across at the front and the back. And then in between, I'm going to have like kind of rails, so that way when you pull the drawer out, it's not gonna come off of the back one and then drop down and then keep pulling it out and then kind of goes in like that, and then you got to fiddle with it. So then these are gonna go across, and I think it's probably easier if I cut some of this stuff down. I've got this cut down to length, I've got this cut down, so I'm gonna cut a couple of these down for my sides, get some measurements, cut down for my cross pieces, my side pieces, and then I'll put it all together and show you what we've got. And then we will carry on with building the garbage can and stuff. So I'm gonna get some stuff cut down, make it a little bit easier to show you guys, and then we'll put it together. Yeah. Okay, I've got everything cut down. We're gonna start putting stuff together, but I'm not gonna mount anything to my top just yet. Don't think. We'll get this all put together, and I'd like to give the top a really good sand before we put anything on it. So yeah, we'll get this put together and I'll show you how I envision this all working. So I left a gap here because I'm actually going to do a proper drawer front using the same material as the top. So go ahead, grab a couple of screws. Sure everything's kind of lined up as good as I can. That side is good. Okay, we've got our base all done. We've got our rear support cut. We've got our front support cut. So we can go ahead and get these screwed in. And then I've cut my rails. These can get screwed in. Oh boy. That one hit the other screw. Don't think it's going to be way too long. Okay, I gotta find some shorter screws for those two. The rest of these should all go in fine. This one will pull this side in. So yeah, I'll find some shorter screws, put a couple of things together, and then show you where I'm at. And I'm getting a phone call, so okay, I jumped ahead a little bit. Got this all together, all screwed in. Got some shorter screws for there. Built my trash can, have not put a bottom on it yet. Cut this piece. This piece is going to be mounted right about there. And then off of this piece is where my track is going to mount for the garbage can. So basically everything is upside down, but basically the garbage can is going to sit, can't remember which way I had it. I think that way. Yeah, it kind of fits, almost fits perfectly in there. But it's going to be about here and ish, and then you're going to be able to slide it out, dump it, slide her back in, and it's just going to kind of sit there. So this is going to be kind of the entrance or where you're going to throw the garbage. So I've picked this up. It's a 4-inch Forstner bit. I think that'll be a pretty good size for that. So I'll drill my hole in here, get this mounted, and then build all my tracks off of this. Some of these screws might be seen for the track so that I can get them all mounted on the sides and stuff. And then I gotta get a bottom on the trash can. So yeah, I'm gonna mark out the center of this board, drill my 4-inch hole. It's gonna be for like Kleenexes and small little garbage and stuff like that, so it doesn't need a massive hole. And yeah, I'm gonna have to put a top lip on this so that it slides on kind of a track. So yeah, I'm gonna get fabricating on some of this stuff, I'm gonna have to do some math and some thinking and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get going on this, and I'll bring you back if I run into any problems. Okay, so I jumped ahead a little bit. I changed the design up. We had a bunch of issues back to back. So I tried using that Forstner bit, and the center just kept moving around. I don't know if maybe the wood's too soft or what, but or maybe I was going too fast, but we'll come back to that. And then I made up these little blocks here as spacers for here, but then they were way too big. Then I had to cut down the width of the garbage can, and then they were still too big. So then I found this piece of wood here that I had made up, just some sliders. It was the right height, the right thickness, everything works. Obviously this is working backwards than it will, because this will be mounted to the wall, but let's see, it slides pretty good. So just need to put a handle on the garbage can and build the drawer, and then obviously mount the top down. So all in all, I'm pretty, we got to put a bottom on that as well. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out so far. I've decided that, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we're going to use the cutoff piece as our drawer front, so we'll have to cut that down so that the garbage can works, which is not a big deal. So yeah, now we just need to, like I said, put a bottom on it, build the drawer, and then we can finish it. So yeah, I'm gonna see what we got for wood for the bottom. Also had a little boo-boo yesterday. Drilled into my finger while I was drilling out the pilot holes in these guys. But yeah, so I'll see what we got for scrap wood for the garbage can, and then start working on the drawer. I've got some thoughts for a handle for the drawer. I don't know if it's gonna work out. In my head, it seems like it's gonna work fine, but I don't know. So I'm gonna do some calculations and maybe make one up just to see how it turns out. Gotta find a handle for that. And yeah, so I'm gonna go gather up some wood and stuff, and then I'll bring you back when we're doing something interesting. Okay, here we've got an almost finished product. Move it a little closer. So, garbage can slides out. I still gotta do the handle, sand it, and finish it, but drawer, still gotta mount the top, but I'm gonna finish sand and finish it before I mount it. So yeah, I'm gonna, there's a couple other little odds and ends. It's catching, the drawer is catching inside there, so I'm gonna see if I have enough room and maybe put a little piece of plastic along the side rails so that it just kind of slides along them, because it's catching right back here. I think I had a screw pop through and I didn't notice it, but that's minor. So yeah, I'm gonna get sanding and finish it and show you when it's done. Building the drawer, I ran into no issues. I did add in my little L brackets right here while I was messing around with the drawer and everything, so that I could mount the top at the front, because I don't want any visible screws. So all the screws are hidden. The sides you won't even really see, because her bed's on one side and then she's got a little stand on the other side, but it's just too far away to be considered a nightstand. So you won't be able to see the sides. Pretty much everything on the front will be all hidden. It'll just kind of look like that. I just gotta find a handle that I want to put on here, see if that handle will work on there. I think I might go ahead and maybe play around with the handle idea that I have for the front here, get that mounted or figured out, and then everything can be finished all at the same time. But yeah, there it is. We'll get it all tidied up, and then I'll show you guys how it turned out. Well, there's the finished product. There's the back. This is going to get mounted against the wall. The other side, there's the front. What I did with, so garbage can slides out. I added the handle. This is the handle I built for the drawer. Basically, I just took a scrap piece of 1x6, cut out a radius here, 2 little pieces of broom handle, drilled a hole through it, radiused the 2 edges, and I had an old keyboard that I had taken apart and stripped some letters off of a while back because I was going to make something with my daughter's nickname on it, and this worked out perfect. So I pre-drilled holes. I went through the front with the screws just so they're nice and solid in there. These can pop off. I'm fighting out whether to epoxy them in there or I might just throw a little piece of tape around it. But drawer slides open, closes, garbage can slides. Yeah, there it is. Gotta give it a quick wipe down and install it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this video. I will probably add a picture at the end when it's installed on the wall, but hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and get out there and build something. This was all built with just random scraps I had laying around, so come up with an idea and make it happen. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. It is all installed. Everything fits perfectly. This drawer misses by, like, it's just a perfect fit. So thank you once again for watching. Get out there and build something.